you ready?
Yeah, I'm totally ready.
All right, so I firstly wanted to ask you, how did you come up with the name?
Oh, the name Bunny Danger? Long story short, when I was younger, my family nickname was Buddy, and then I used that as a stage name, and then about a year ago, I came to the realization that I was actually a trans woman, and then I was like, well, shit, I need to change my name, but I'm a musician and I've already done so much branding under the name Buddy. So I was like, all right, I just got to make it a simple change. And then I one day was like, Bunny. And everyone I said it to, they were like, oh my God, that's way better. That's the coolest thing ever. And so I was like, all right, yeah, Bunny Danger.
It definitely caught my attention.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So speaking on that, how long have you been making music now?
I've been making music since I was 14. I'm going to be 25 this December. So I started my first band in high school when I was 14. And then just kind of, I played in bands a whole lot. I feel like that's kind of a common theme in people in our scene, is that they all started out in bands, and then as we got older, we all realized, oh, bands cost way too much money.
Yeah.
Just do it solo.
Definitely. So I wanted to talk about this track you sent me called Fuck It. Can you explain what that song is really about, and how was the process of making that music video?
So the really fun fact about that is that's actually the first solo song that's the first rap song I ever did, and I made that back when I was 21 or 22. And we just kind of held on to it. We never released the music video because it was kind of hard to edit it. The music video was shot on 2 iPhones, while me and my producer and the other guy on the track, Ominous, that dude was my roommate. We were all frying on acid one night, and then we got the bright idea, yo, let's shoot a music video. So we just shot a music video, and yeah, I am just that. So there's moments, if you look at my face, you can tell I'm actually peaking. So yeah, and then the whole song, like I said, I was in a band called The Tragedy, and kind of as a one-off thing, because my roommate was a rapper in the local scene, he was like, yo, dude, we should do a song. So I got a beat made for me, and I wrote out the whole thing, and then he hopped on, we did the song, and it was a lot of fun. And then I just kept writing more and more songs like that, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to do this. But yeah, the song Fuck It actually is just in general, it's about when you get to a point in your life and you just say, fuck it. When I wrote the song, I was in AA, and they have this little saying called, when you get a case of the fuck it's and just decide to go off the deep end and go back to drinking and drugging and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've since learned AA is not actually for me and stuff like that, but at the time it was a big deal for me.
Yeah, AA definitely didn't work for me either.
I mean, I know a lot of people it works for. It's not for me.
Yeah, definitely. It can help a lot of people, but not everybody. Not everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
Everybody's
into
got different perspectives.
The whole idea of giving yourself up to a higher power kind of killed me off.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I considered myself kind of a Satanist, self-worship and you're your own God and stuff like that. And that was something that they would always tell me I couldn't do, but that was always really aggravating, because I felt through the process of going through AA, I lost a lot of my self-identity and my self-value, and I felt like I wasn't a strong individual. And that's the whole thing that really got to me, was these people telling me, no, you're worthless without God. And I was like, no, bro, you guys are, it's literally when I was 14 all fucking over again. So
Yeah, man, that's the shit I don't like. I wanted to ask you. I love the track. This title to this track. Definitely a Skyrim reference.
Uh, yeah, actually, it's a Fallout reference. Me and my producer are big
Well, they're
fans of
both
Fallout New
Bethesda.
Vegas. Yeah, well, everyone always says Skyrim, and so I'm always like, actually. But yeah, no, you already get the vibe if you yeah. Well, yeah, because my old producer had a song called "You Are No Longer Well Rested," and so I was like, that's so
Okay.
fucking good. And so I named that song "You Cannot Fast Travel When Enemies Are Nearby." So then that was like, yeah, homie used to be like one of my best fucking friends in the whole world, and so like a lot of our songs reference each other, and we like feature in each other's songs, but like we won't say we're featuring in it. We just do it anyways and stuff, and we're not trying to like share clout or anything. We're just doing it to be homies and shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. And have you had much experience playing live?
Oh yeah. Up until COVID happened, I was a road dog actually. Like I
Ah.
toured extensively. Like that was my whole fucking thing was my whole life all I ever wanted to be was just a touring musician. I didn't care about being famous and rich. I thought like, okay, if I can get like 100 kids to a show, I should be able to make enough money to get gas in the fucking van to get me to the next show, and I can just eat shitty fucking Taco Bell for the rest of my life, and buy a new pair of jeans when they rip, buy black hair dye and razors to shave off my eyebrows and shit. So like as long as I could maintain that, I would be good. And what sucks is like literally I had a tour scheduled for April, and it was actually me and my producer, Praz. Me and him were gonna do this big tour, and we finally were like gonna be making money and stuff. We weren't gonna be like making a bunch of money, but like we had some guarantees and door deals and shit, and I was like actually starting to get there. Um, and then yeah, like a week before we were supposed to leave, Illinois declared lockdown. Everywhere
Ah.
else was declaring lockdown, and we were like, fuck. And we didn't want to be one of those people who was out playing shows when it wasn't safe, because I grew up in the punk scene, and the punk scene was always about creating an environment for kids to feel safe and that they could be themselves. And although yeah, kids can still feel like they can be themselves, they're not going to be safe because there's like a fucking deadly virus. And so I'm glad shows are coming back now,
Yeah.
but yeah, like they're yeah. Um, but yeah, so yeah, long story short, I've been steady touring nonstop since I was about 20. When I was 20, I went on my first tour, and ever since then, I'd go on a minimum of 2 to 3 tours a year. Um, and then before that, like when I lived in Seattle, I was playing a bunch of shows. Like when I was 17, I opened up for the Misfits.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, like yeah, I've been doing this shit for a minute. My first live performance was when I was 14, and it was like a benefit show for a skate park.
That sounds awesome. I started playing bass when I was 16, and occasionally I would play with Chelsea Grin and Traders. That was a really fun time for me, and so yeah, I definitely relate to that. And I wanted to ask you, so you know how toxic this kind of underground scene can be, especially certain groups of people. Has it been hard for you to get the respect you want and to be doing this as a person who identifies or prefers female pronouns? Has that been a struggle?
It's been a mixture of things. I think I'm banned from the group, the emo trap group, but
I hate that
like,
group.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just a perfect example of the toxicity in this whole fucking scene. But the thing is, I've never really given too much thought to what other people think of me and what other people are doing. I just care about the people close to me and what they think, you know, the people that I actually respect. Like I said, growing up, I mean, I'm sure you can fucking remember shit like this, you know, like pre-sale shows, bro.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers will act like because they just bought all of their tickets that they're the hot shit, even though none of those tickets went to anybody. All right? Like, so, and the thing that I fucking hate, I literally talked about this 2 other fucking times. I fucking hate these fucking trust fund kids that sit there and act like they're the hot shit and they're making all this fucking money doing this shit, but really no, it's like your fucking parents just gave you 12 grand to do a song with Travis Barker, you fucking cock. Like, I know what's going on.
Oh man.
And that's actually what that song You Cannot Fast Travel is about. Like, literally the hook is, I don't give a fuck about the money that you make. I can already see that all that shit's fake. I don't give a fuck about your stupid ass chain. Tell your ghostwriter that I think his shit bangs.
Yeah, that's fucking. I love that. That's very true, and yeah, I definitely see the correlation there. What you're trying to say, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's like a whole fucking thing that like I've learned to stop giving a fuck about anyone else and what they're doing, because chances are like the people that, like, the real ones, quote unquote, like, they're probably not as well seen because they just don't have the means. Like me, I'm a fucking broke ass bitch. I literally came from like a lower class family, and I was homeless from the ages of 14 to 20. Like, I do not have the money to like pay trash to fucking upload my shit. I don't have the money to pay for all this shit. So anytime somebody listens to my shit and actually likes it and respects it, it's something that I feel I've earned a bit more. And, you know, I'm not talking shit on everybody who does that shit, because I know people who slave away at like a shitty day job just to like work up all month just to get the money to like do a trash upload or some shit like that, or pay somebody for a feature because it's an artist they really respect. You know, so nothing against that. But at the same time, you know, you've got these motherfuckers who, like I said, they just get fucking mommy and daddy's money to fucking fund all their shit, and it's like, I'm not about that. I'm not trying to fucking be involved with people like that. Like, fuck all that.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
What would you
not
say?
Everybody can be City Morgue.
What would you say is like the hardest obstacle you've had to overcome throughout your music career?
Honestly, the biggest thing that like I've had to like try and overcome was just the fact that coming to terms with the fact that like all those other people don't matter. Coming to terms with the fact that like you can't sit there and compare yourself to somebody else. You can't compare yourself to the people around you. Just focus on like what you're doing. And it sounds so fucking cliche, and I know when I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's bullshit. But no, literally just like learning to stay in your own lane, focus on yourself. Everybody has different timelines. I mean, fucking, we see these kids blowing up at like 16 and 19.
Yeah.
But like, that's not always going to be the case. I mean, fucking Ghostman didn't pop off till he was 27, bro. Most of the musicians we loved were dead by then. So like, you know, so it's everybody goes at a different time. And on top of that, fame is relative. I meet people who have no fucking clue who Ghostbane is, but then they'll know some obscure fucking metalcore band from 2007 that only had 3 songs on MySpace. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Emily Rose from Wales.
You know, that was... I recently interviewed Ghostman for my book, and I was pretty surprised to learn... I actually didn't realize kind of, I guess, how late he caught on, and I didn't realize... I honestly, my first impression is that he was going to be a douchebag for some reason, but man, that interview actually turned out great. And I don't know if you've heard of like Faith No More or yeah, I interviewed the vocalist earlier today, and man, I just been in the mood for interviews, so I'm super glad to get you on here because I really like that track, and I could see you going somewhere for sure.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I mean, I hope so. I just spent like $700 of like the last money I fucking had to fly out to Seattle, and then now I'm in LA right now, and I live in New Orleans, like, and we just went through Hurricane Ida, which like fucked up all of
Oh
Louisiana.
yeah.
So like, yeah, so I hope I can make something back, throughout my career, and like I hope this whole thing isn't worth it. It's not worthless because, like I said, I'm one of those people who like I don't have a whole lot of money. I don't have like all this shit that like, someone like fucking nah, never mind. I'm not gonna throw any of my homies under the bus. But yeah, no, I mean, like, sometimes people are luckier than others. But the thing is, like, I don't know, man. Like that new fucking MGK album, it fucking slaps. But he didn't write that. He did not fucking write it.
Right.
Like I've literally met people. Never mind. I'm not putting people on blast. gotta be a respectful lady in these parts. But yeah, I know that, like, not to sound pretentious, but I see a lot of people literally doing the music that like I grew up on, but it's not genuine, it's not real, and so that's my whole goal is just to make real, genuine music. And I mean, my buddy fucking DJ Swamp, he's like an old dude from the scene. Like, he used to be Beck's DJ. He fucking did shit with Death Grip and all this shit. And he was,
yeah,
like,
that's
just
awesome.
trying to tell. Yeah, he was trying to tell me like shit about ghostwriters and like, oh yeah, you're gonna need them at some point. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like that's not a thing I'm ever gonna do. No one writes my shit. I'll sit with a producer and we'll bounce some ideas off of each other. Maybe he'll say something that I like, and I'll be like, okay, yeah. Or, like, we'll come together and work on that. But, like, that's what it was like being in a band, bro. Like, so I'm used to that, but I'm not going to just sit there and fucking have some motherfucker come in and be like, all right, so here's the song, here's the lyrics, here's all of this, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, like, I'm not trying to do that. So,
yeah, man,
I don't like genuine shit.
I don't know how I feel about ghostwriters, because even though I'm terrible with lyrics, I would still rather it be me writing the lyrics. And yeah, that's a tough one. And I also wanted to ask you, do you remember like what age or what period of time that you really decided to take this on full force and just go for it?
Yeah, there was a period of my life where, like I said, I was homeless when I was 14. And that's also around the time I started my first band. And, basically, like, I mean, everybody in our age group is, like, fucking depressed, so I know it's not anything new. So I was just severely depressed and on drugs as a teenager, and I really just wanted to die. But the thing is, I'd be like, oh, I can't kill myself right now. I've got band practice this weekend. Oh, I can't kill myself. I have a show at El Corazon in a month. Shit like that. And so it was like I'd be finding these little things where it's like I can't kill myself yet because I have to go do music. Like literally that was the only thing keeping me. And so just when I was fucking probably 15, I just like looked at my bandmates and I was like, I hope y'all know like I take this seriously and this is gonna be my whole life. And if you're not about it, then y'all can hit the fucking dirt, bro. Like I'm not gonna waste any time. And so yeah, about when I was 15 and just realized like music was there for me when nobody else was.
Yeah.
And to this day, it still continues to do that. And so even when I get into relationships, I flat out tell them like, even if I love you, like I will always put my music first. My music comes first before anything. Like I'm in the middle of like a fucking divorce right now. And I had told my husband at the time, like, I love you, but just know like, if I have to go fucking do a show or I have to go on tour and I'm gonna miss like our anniversary or your birthday or Christmas or stuff, like not to sound like a douche, but like music has been there for me longer than you, and will be there long after you're gone. And
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I'm in the middle of a divorce. I'm still out here doing music, so I wasn't wrong about that.
Yeah, I respect that because not everybody is in it for the long run. They want to get cash and then just fucking bounce. And I really appreciate the people who have the passion. So I definitely respect that.
Yeah, I mean, my thing has never been about money. I mean, it would be cool to make money. Like, I want to make enough money to skate by, but like, at the end of the day, my biggest thing is like, when I was young and like, not to get into too much depressing shit, but like, I lost my mom when I was 11. Ooh, and I bought this record by a band called Aiden, called Nightmare Anatomy. And the fucking fourth song on the fucking record was the dude singing about his mom. And it like hit me. I was like, somebody else out there feels the same as me. And all of a sudden, I didn't feel so alone. And that's something that music has always done for me, is it shows me that there's other people out there that feel the same way I do. And so that's what I'm trying to do for other kids. You know, I hope there's some fucking trans kid out there who's struggling with like whatever, and they hear one of my songs and they're like, oh my God, she is going through the exact same shit that I'm going through. I'm not alone. That's all I want to do, is try and connect with people. And, you know, I want to be able to help people get through shit. And that's why, like, I don't really like talking about all the same shit that everyone else fucking talks about. Like, they're always like, I'm depressed, I take Xanax. Like, nah, dude, like, I'm not going to fucking do that shit. I'm going to talk about, like, real shit.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. That's the power of music, is one song you write could change somebody else's life.
Yeah. That's just the goal, man.
I mean, what that really is what makes it all worth it. I mean, are you familiar with Henry Rollins?
Yeah, dude, that dude's like literally one of my biggest fucking life coaches.
I saw him.
I fucking love that guy.
I saw him playing a gig, and only 3 people showed up, and he said, "I am gonna give these 3 people the best show." As if there were 10,000 people, because he said those 3 people might have like a mind altering experience, and really to even just connect with one person that way in music is a very special thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, like, do you have anything currently in the works right now?
Yeah, right now, I just signed to a label. They're not like anything like super, super big. They're an indie label, but it's called Cutthroat Productions, and I'm gonna be putting out my new single on Halloween. But right now I'm basically doing a bunch of music while I'm out here on the West Coast before I head back home to NOLA. And then just going to try and consecutively release singles, because nobody listens to full albums anymore unless you're a big name.
I know, isn't that sad? I'm just going
to try and release some singles. I mean, well, dude, Poor Stacy literally just put out, like, this new album today, and I'm literally at the same apartment. I'm at my producer's apartment, Angel Nightmare. And last time I was in LA last year is when I found Poor Stacy. I was like high on mushrooms at like 4 a.m. and I was scrolling through Instagram and found him. And then I was sitting here, I'm not high on mushrooms, but I'm sitting here over at his place and I just get a notification, Poor Stacy puts out his new album, Party at the Cemetery. I'm like, what the fuck? And, you know, so people still put him out, but like Poor Stacy's got a bit more of clout from like the Money Gang or fucking Internet Money, whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but I'm not at that point yet. So I'm just going to be trying to put out some singles. Yeah, I'm just trying to like, get a better sound. Like, I'm moving a lot more away from like the trappy stuff. And like when I was up in Seattle, I recorded a full like band EP, like guitars, bass, and real drums.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so I'm trying to get more into like the more punk rock side of things. Like I said, I grew up doing like emo and punk music and shit like that. So I'm trying to move more towards that. And so yeah, I guess I'm just overall going to be trying to get more of a rock vibe with everything going. I might even try and do some heavier stuff, like you know, with Fast Travel. That one's like actually really fucking heavy. Like when I play it live, I'm actually just doing like gutturals most of the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, not those weird throaty ones that Ghostman does. Like I used to be in a fucking grindcore band. I know what I'm doing. I fuck with Ghostman. I love Ghostman, but like, bro, like half these vocalists need to like sit down and watch a Zen of Screaming DVD. Like Melissa Cross could save all of these guys' vocals.
Oh yeah, for sure. And do you think that having any sort of visuals to go along with your song like would actually help increase, you know, traffic?
Oh yeah, for sure. Visuals are one of the most important aspects of art. The thing is, nowadays, back in the day, you could put out an album that just would have good songs, and that's all it took. But nowadays, the landscape of it is completely different. Nowadays, you have to have a video. I want to do a video for every single song I put out from now on. It's going to have some kind of visual, whether it's like a lyric video or just a moving GIF or something like that. Something in general. Just you need something to give people to look at and give you an idea of what your aesthetics are and stuff like that. You know, like it adds to the overall product that you're selling. And people don't like thinking about music as a product, but that's the thing. It is a product. You are,
right.
At the end of the day, it's the music business, and it sucks, but that's just part of it. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you
definitely.
gotta have some kind of visual aesthetic. You know, that's why I fucking started a clothing brand, is because I was like, this will help add to the nature of what I do. You know, so now I do like fucking punk rock, one of a kind, fucking hand altered clothes, and then that, you know, just plays into it, because all the shit that I wear is like fucking punk rock shit that I made most of the time. So
oh yeah, I love that, man. And I was gonna ask you, is there any genre or style of any sorts that you haven't experimented with, and do you want to, or is there a reason you haven't?
I guess the like one genre that I haven't really messed with a whole lot that I think would be kind of fun is just like good old fashioned like 90s fucking metalcore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Poison the Well or like Page 99 or some shit like that, you know.
Yeah,
like,
that would be great.
Just on, yeah. I mean, fucking Botch just came back. So I'm kind of like, oh, fuck, maybe I should start a side piece just to fucking get in on this fucking hardcore fucking bring back, you know? But, no, the only other thing I haven't done is country, and I mean, I don't know. I used to make folk punk at one point, so I mean, like, does that count as a country? I think it's just country with more heroin.
Yeah, it's very similar.
But yeah, I mean, right now, oh yeah, and hyperpop. I haven't done hyperpop yet, and I actually really, really like to do hyperpop. Like, if I could find a way to make like hyperpop punk music, that would be like dope as shit.
Yeah, hyperpop's a really big thing right now, and if you could incorporate that into like pop punk or something, that definitely could be something.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, one of my biggest heroes in music is Laura Letts from 100 Gex, and one of the things that I fucking love is that, you know, they don't make a big deal, but, like, a lot of people I tell don't even realize she's actually a trans woman, and the nightcore vocals that she does with her vocals, she pitch shifts them up. so it sounds more effeminate. So then that way, like, it helps with her dysphoria, I think is what it is. I haven't seen her explicitly say that, so I don't want to, like, make any accusations, but, like, that's kind of, like, what some people have said is, like, it seems like that's what she's doing, is pitching her vocals up so it sounds more effeminate. And then, but yeah, she's just, like, a fucking amazing fucking artist, and, like, I strive to be at least, like, half of the artist that she is. She's just so fucking out there and carefree, and is just, her and Dylan Brady are literally some of the, like, biggest things to happen to the current musical landscape. And I will die on this fucking hill, and any of the old heads that want to come at me, feel free. 100 Gex is the most punk rock thing to come out in the last 10 fucking years. And I will go rounds with anybody who wants to challenge me.
Oh, hell yeah. I respect that. I wanted to ask you, like, where do you see yourself in the next few years? And do you think by that time you will have accomplished some things you've really wanted to accomplish?
In 5 years? Let's see, I'm going to be 29. I mean, hopefully I have at least a place that I can reside that is, you know, hopefully I have a home, a place that I can call home.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm surrounded by people that I love and that love me and that want my best interest. And hopefully I'm still able to make music and do stuff and tour and stuff like that. That's all I really want. Also, it would be really cool if, like, they had better fucking vegan chicken out. That would be really cool. But whatever.
Well, just to end this off, do you want to give any message or support to anybody who follows you, supports you, and is a fan of yours?
Yeah, for sure. I just try to always constantly remind people that all we can ever do in life is do the best we can with whatever tools we were given. And as long as you're doing that, that's all you can do. So people shouldn't hold themselves down and beat themselves up just because they're not where someone else is, because that's their story. Your story is here. Your story is what you're doing.